Okay. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen on social media that Biggie has not only addressed Ashley and Bonnibee over the whole sexual violence and racist conversation going on inside the house and outside the house, but he has also meted out his verdict and his punishment on the two women. Yes. I'm going to tell you all about it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no need for any intro on this video because I don't know, I have mixed feelings, and I don't think I really want to say much on this video because I actually do have a lot to say, but I think I'm going to save it for Saturday when we converge here for our YouTube live conversation, all right? But here goes. First off, just know that Biggie has issued a strike and a punishment each to Ashley and Bonnibee. Yes. And quite frankly, I was quite relieved that that was the verdict. Yes. Because I think I mentioned on my previous video I put out earlier today that most of the South African viewing audience were calling for the automatic disqualification of those two girls from the house. For Bonnibee, the call for disqualification has been as being all over the place since last week. For Ashley, it started since on Monday. Yeah. And so I am guessing that the pressure was quite a lot, and of course, Big Brother had to do something about it. So the event of today just totally reminded me of the Bravo B and Makeke situation from last season. You know how those two were having a conversation and then they had said something about FUCK stuff, and people that had to, under the pressure still of the viewing audience, had to disqualify Bravo B and then issued Makeke a double strike. Yes. So the situation was quite similar to today. The pattern was similar, and guys, I must admit the pressure has been intense. It's been insane, yeah. But this was how it started before it got to the point where Big Brother issued the strikes and also read out that they will have a punishment. They will receive a punishment. The housemates diary session had continued today, and Bonnibee and Ashley were the last to have their diary session. So I had noticed that Biggie was sort of hurrying the housemates to have their diary sessions today. Wasn't really going into the details of their nomination choices, wasn't really going into the details of the same questions that he had actually asked the first batch of housemates that had their diary session yesterday. So today's one was kind of in a rush. Yes. So when it got to Bonnibee's turn, it was a lot. Yeah. So Biggie had asked her questions about housemates that are insensitive, and Bonnibee had responded to that yes, there's tension in the house, and there are different personalities, so people tend to be insensitive to people. And Biggie wanted her to give examples, and of course she gave examples of different scenarios that have happened in the house. But I think Big Brother wanted her to use herself as an example, and she had not necessarily used herself as an example. There was also this question Biggie had asked Bonnibee during her diary session about if housemates fight dirty and just hold on a second, yes, and are quite insensitive to issues affecting others in the house. Now, I'm going to be frank with all of you. Bonnibee's response to that question was nothing short of brilliant. It was brilliant. Now, she had gone ahead to explain that yes and no. Biggie wanted her to elaborate, give more details. And she had explained that because it's a confined space, because they are, restricted by how far they can take their anger, and because they cannot use their fists, they cannot get violent. Like someone cannot get upset and give somebody a slap or maybe push someone or punch someone, they use their words. They use their words to effect the same level of hurt that the other housemate that had actually hurt them or provoked them, has meted out on them as well. Now, Biggie wanted her to give further examples, and she explained that Though it is not right, yes, but yes, they do fight dirty in the house. And it is because of that reason. People provoke people to a level where you get so aggravated, but there's nothing you can really do about it. You can't get so angry that you shove someone or you slap someone or do whatever. You can't hit someone with anything. So it is your mouth alone that you have as your weapon, to use to fight that fight. And sometimes, of course, it gets dirty, and sometimes it gets really, really insensitive. And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, that answer from Bonnibee was brilliant, because as insensitive as a lot of people might deem it to be, that is nothing but the truth. And this is not me trying to defend Bonnibee or anything, but I am talking about that question Big Brother asked and the answer to that question that Bonnibee gave. See, it is similar to what I always say on this channel, that be mindful of how you provoke people. Be mindful of how you trigger people, because when you directly attack people, when you directly provoke people, or let's say you directly get physical with people, let's say you punch someone now and the person decides to stab you, you cannot question that person's action. You cannot be angry. And please, disclaimer, this is not me saying that that's the right action to take. But here's the part. When you offend people in that manner, like when you do an enormous level of damage to people, you hurt people, you cause people pain, you tend to cause a lot of damage. And when they want to retaliate, you cannot necessarily dictate how they should retaliate. You cannot determine or decide what they should do back to you in return. That's why a lot of times retaliation comes in the most vile forms. A lot of times. Because when you hurt people, because human beings are different in how they handle hurt, pain, and different types or levels of emotions, some people might want to retaliate to the extent where they ensure that they completely destroy you because of the hurt that you caused them. So Bonnibee explained it that way. Still in response to Biggie's questions about how housemates fight dirty, in the house, and how they also get insensitive to people's personal issues, Bonnibee had also cited an example to Big Brother, and this was the issue of bullying, And you see, this is something she has always pointed out in the house, but nobody takes her serious because, hey, it's Bonnibee, right? So she had mentioned that, okay, for instance, when she has issues, or maybe when housemates have issues with an individual housemate, about 5 other housemates, they join forces and then they attack the other housemate, that for her, she feels like that is bullying, and people don't really see how much it affects other people. And people don't really see how much it affects other people. And ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to be frank about it, between last week and this week, there's been cases of bullying in that house. But with this viewership, they tend to turn a blind eye to it. Because of course, everybody believes that the issue of sexual violence is a much more bigger issue than the issue of bullying. So nobody should give attention, to the issue of bullying. But that is conversation for another day. We're going to talk about it another day. Anyways, Big Brother's next question, to Bonni was about that issue of sexual violence, and he wanted Bonnibee to take accountability, but she wasn't really addressing the issue. And so he had to directly ask her questions about it, and then he had reprimanded her and reminded her about the seriousness of the situation, and I told her to go and reflect on it. Now Bonnibee had a question for Big Brother, but Big Brother just told her to leave the diary room. It was at that point I knew that, okay, Big Brother is really, really upset. Yes. Anyways, Ashley had a diary session next and was the last housemate to have a session for the day. And the same pattern of questions Big Brother had asked Bonnibee was the same questions he had asked Ashley. But Ashley's responses were kind of similar to Bonnie's responses, but also different. And in a way, kind of hilarious because, she thought it was just a regular diary session. She did not realize at that point in time that it was actually serious business. Like Big Brother had called her to address, all this drama that she had been involved in that even caused as well in the house. On Ashley's part, in response to Big Brother's question about if housemates fight dirty and are insensitive to people's personal issues in the house, Ashley had admitted that, oh yes, that she's a very insensitive person. that the truth is she is not the bigger person. She's never been the bigger person. You know, those people that they would want to go and apologize first, or, you know, just own up to everything. You know, that she is a very insensitive person. And the way she's insensitive is by retaliation. Now, she had further explained that most of the time, it's not like she just, you know, triggers people or provokes people or looks for trouble. But when people hurt her, when people do things to her, when people provoke her, that is when she decides to retaliate. And when she retaliates, you know, because the hurt is quite huge, she wants to ensure that she hurts that person as much as they had hurt them, you know. So that is where our insensitivity steps in, you know, because for her, it's all about the retaliation. She must get her own pound of flesh. Biggie had also asked her about the issue of respect. He did not ask that to Bonnibee, but because most of the viewers have, you know, all been dragging the organizers that, oh, Ashley is very rude, very disrespectful, she needs to go home, blah, 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 blah. Biggie had asked her about disrespect. And she has said, well, people get the good or bad Ashley depending on how they treat her. If they treat her with respect, she gives respect. If they disrespect her, she gives disrespect in return. Biggie had asked her if housemates have been disrespectful and insensitive to people's trauma or issues of sexual violation, and she had pointed out Bonnibee's situation with Kayb. Had said she had, you know, added her own 2 cents to Bonnibee, that it was quite wrong, you know, but then she had repeated what she had said to Kayb, that it's not like she's actually agreeing that what Bonnibee did was right, but what she believes is that in a game like Big Brother's game, you know, in a competition like this, if you don't want people to use your information against you, you should not bring it to such a game, because people will definitely weaponize any information they have about you. And ladies and gentlemen, I totally agree. I said it before and I'm saying it again, I totally agree. But anyways, just like he did with Bonnibee, Big Brother had gone ahead to educate her on the gravity of a sexual molestation situation and had advised her to go and reflect on it. And also, there was something people that said. He said vulgarity is not a form of self-expression. Yes, vulgarity. And he had advised her to go and reflect on it. And the same way he told Bonnibee to leave the diary room, that was the same way he told Ashley to leave the diary room. Now, this is what I think about those 2 girls' diary session. I pretty much appreciate Big Brother for addressing the situation, because it would have resulted in another Bravo B and Makeke situation again this season. And the 2 most entertaining people this season would have been, you know, disqualified automatically. However, I felt like it was not completely a balanced situation. And I say so because, yes, Kayb has her situation, her trauma, and nobody should go through what she went through. Yes, and I'm referring to the first story. That's her first situation. Nobody should have to deal with grape, right? However, by virtue of watching the show from day one, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you for free that Kayb is not an entirely nice person. Kayb is not an entirely good person. When we talk about the issue of bullying, Kayb has done it twice to the same person, Nsuku. She did it on Monday. Was it Monday night? Yes, Monday night. Was it Monday night or Sunday? I can't really remember. But she did it on Sunday night to Nsuku. Sipali talked about it during his diary session where he was shedding tears, because according to him, it triggered memories of his trauma in having to deal with bullying. So I was kind of expecting Big Brother to also address that same issue with Kayb, you know, the same way he had drilled Bonnibee and Ashley with questions during their diary session. I was expecting him to drill Kayb the same way. Because when we talk about vulgarity, when we talk about vileness, Kayb is equally extremely vile with her words. Where she is having an altercation with someone, she says very mean things and vile things. Saturday night, she was literally calling Nsuku a bitch, a bitch. Where's that bitch? Where's that bitch? And she was saying a lot of things. I might not necessarily understand everything she said in her local dialect, you know, while she was speaking using vernacular, yes. But we know that that fight was not her fight. Even the first fight, she attacked Nsuku unprovoked. But anyways, we're going to leave that conversation because this video is not really about Kayb now, right? Kayb is the victim of this violence, and then there's also Nshini that, what's her name now, Ashley has said vile things too. But we're going to have a proper elaborate conversation about all of these things on Saturday. Anyways, few moments later, Big Brother had summoned the housemates to the lounge for his verdict. So it was a very long clip, right? But Big Brother had taken out time to play clips of all the conversations as evidence to show that these ladies really are guilty as charged by not just the housemates but also the viewing public, right? So he had played the clip where Bonnibee had made that statement, although the clip was cut off, so we did not see if Nate actually laughed or not. And I was not really happy about that, because that would have actually given evidence, right, to the point that Bonnibee, Mata and Nsuku made, that Nate actually laughed, because Nate has been using that as a talking point that, oh, see, they were demonizing me that I laughed. I did not laugh. If I laughed, they would have showed it. So I was not happy that that clip was cut. Yes, they would have played it completely so that, you know. But anyways, that was also the clip. In fact, guys, all the clips, all the conversations that we're all aware about, it had been played. And some of the housemates got emotional. Kayb got emotional. She was crying. And as much as I feel really bad for her, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, that whole situation felt kind of awkward to me. And I'm not going to say why yet, but I'm going to talk about it on Saturday still, yes. But it was a very, very tense atmosphere. And finally, after everybody had seen all the clips, Big Brother read out sections of the rule book that both women had violated. According to Big Brother, for Bonnibee, she had committed broken the rule of victimization. Yes, I think it's victimization under the section of violence and whatnot. And then for Ashley, I think it has to do with the same, right? And also I think racist remarks or stuff. But anyways, at the end of the day, both girls were issued a strike each and punishments that will be announced to them in due time. Yes, so afterwards, Ashley was really angry because she felt like it wasn't really a fair situation, right? But then she had gone ahead to apologize to Kayb. Kayb was still crying. Most of the girls, they rallied around her. They were consoling her. Bonnibee, the camera did not show us Bonnibee's immediate reaction, so we can't really tell if she felt bad or remorseful or not. Yes, because the camera spent a lot of time on Ashley and Kayb and our friends that were, you know, consoling her. So we didn't even know what was going on with Bonnibee on the outside. But when the camera went to Bonnibee, Bonnibee said she was feeling really emotional and she would apologize to Kayb, but not tonight, because she doesn't want people to feel like, oh, is it because they played the clip that you're apologizing now? So she's going to leave it till tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, that was also the men's conference. There's going to be another video for more reactions from the housemates, all right? But in the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, because apparently a lot of South African viewers are kind of not satisfied with Big Brother's verdict. For them, the girls should have been eliminated from the show. But I would love to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Are you satisfied with Big Brother's verdict or not? Or what would you have preferred to be Big Brother's verdict? Share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video. Thanks for watching and have an amazing evening. Bye.